Takeoff, y'all. Condolences to his family out there. Rest up, my man. We've got liftoff. Another edition of Mouthpiece Included. As y'all can clearly see, Bulls up, bear down. LeBronny's rise. Bron's feud with Stephen A. ... The Stephen A. ... And the Juju. Juju. Juju is MJ. Big injury. So we got a lot to unpack in the world of sports and politics. If y'all could be kind enough to stand by as we pay some bills, please take this time to like, share, subscribe. Something don't seem right. Let's make sure we live here, there, fella. TATN. Oh yeah, we live. We live. Big ups to Bella B Designs 365 at gmail.com. I want my silver back. Reparations now. But once again, y'all, come on, Karen. You can go ahead and roll it. Please like, share, subscribe. Show starts in about 3 minutes. It's an open panel, so the link is pinned in the chat. Yes, sir. It's pinned in the chat. Pull up.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe out there.
You're from Detroit, now you're in Chicago. How would you compare Detroit-style pizza with some of that Chicago deep dish?
Yeah, you can't go wrong with deep dish, 100%. Sausage, that's the way to go.
Sausage, not pepperoni.
Oh, yeah. Not
okay.
Pepperoni. No.
Which is?
Sausage.
Can I ask you which is better? Detroit, Chicago?
Chicago, for sure.
Ah, there you go. Right answer.
I was very
sleep on that pepperoni
because I was learning about the history of what happened to us, and that's what Roots did to me. It brought a lot of those feelings out of me. And I became very disturbed by it, and I became very angry, and I started to retaliate in school. And it took my mother to come to me and tell me, it's a history, it's something that you should never forget, but you can rise above it and make an impact and make a change and make people aware of the pain that we have endured. But at first I was very disturbed by it, and I retaliated in some ways, violently. We used to go to other pools, and he would take me, and as soon as I get in the pool, they would get out of the pool. You don't forget your heritage, but you move forward in trying to make a better life for everyone, and that you always want to be viewed as a person. Reach back and pull someone with you.
Facts.
The United States
like, share,
is a place where, we can practice any kind of religion. It's never really been forced that we have to practice a certain religion, and here he is, he's practicing his religion. Is it something that we should judge? We should question him about? I beg to differ a little bit. I don't know if you should ask the guy to certainly go against his religious beliefs. And I think if he believes that, then we have to honor that.
Any thoughts on the NBA rule as it applies to that?
Everyone understood the rules. And I think when you sign a contract, it's very evident that that's a part of the rules. If it's a rule, I don't think a player of his stature who considers the situation to be something against his religion, it could be a compromise somewhere. And then some people are going to look at it in a positive way, standing up for what he believes in. And I'm never against that.
That ain't that network. Everybody subscribe to that ain't that network, man. I'm telling you, those guys are putting some real conscious material out on the YouTube. A lot of people aren't aware of their content, but these are some very smart people that's very conscience forward.
Hey bros, what's going on? This is
conscious, baby.
Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Show starts 2 minutes.
It's sort of like a little treat, you know? You can't have like just one. Oh, here's your merch.
See, this is my travel bag right now.
Comment be tripping. We can't play.
Phil calls timeout. It was less than a minute to play. We're down 3.
This is a big 20-second timeout for Chicago.
Michael Jordan, at this advanced stage of his career, he has to play extra minutes in a grueling series.
Now the Bulls would like to get 2-for-1 possession here.
And that last sequence is one of the greatest sequences you'll ever see in any sport.
Michael working on Russell.
When he made a layup and he went back down, and I knew they were going to run the pattern and play through Karl Malone. And Karl just totally forgot that I was on the weak side. And Dennis and Malone have been fighting all game.
Michael never clears, so Malone doesn't see him. He comes from the blind side and strips him. Malone is doubled. They swat at 17 seconds from game 7.
What's going through your head when you're coming back up the floor?
Get the hell out of the way, only thing I was thinking.
He is not going to pass this fucking ball. This is his turn.
Jordan open. Chicago with the lead.
We were having a discussion, and you guys have become bougie. You don't want 12 wins in the regular season.
Yeah, I don't want 12 wins in that summer.
All right, what's up, NASCAR fans? I don't know about y'all, but this President Obama is pissing me off. So I'm going to do some dip and speak my mind. Today I'm going to be dipping Vagisil regular strength anti-itch cream. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a big digger right there. So I'm pretty pissed off what I found out. I found out this Obama wants to put a bigger tax on gasoline.
You know, that's when all the news came in about being in the South Park episode. Something about being poor and stupid was the theme of the episode.
Bring it on, Earhart. You scared of the competition? I'm just as poor and stupid as you. I'm gonna drive and I'm gonna go fast and I'm gonna turn to the left sometimes.
Can we just get back to the subject of racing, please?
Hell, bring it on, Danica. You dumb bitch. Think I can't steer left better than you?
Bring a towel. When you get out of the water, you need to dry off right away.
Facts.
To avoid catching a cold. That's why Tally says, don't forget to bring a
Don't
towel.
forget your mouthpiece either.
Okay. Thanks, Tally.
You want to get high?
No.
We have a butt. We have a butt.
Cool weekends in the morning.
All right, y'all. We in the building. Karen, can you cue the music, please? Cue the music. Appreciate you, Karen. In the building, mouthpiece included. Get your mouthpiece. Pull up. Still got them. I still got mine.
Mouthpiece included. TATN, TATN, TATN.
Better guard your grill.
TATN, TATN, TATN. Mouthpiece included. TATN, TATN, TATN.
Better guard your grill.
TATN, TATN, TATN.
Mouthpiece included.
TATN, TATN, TATN.
Better guard your grill.
TATN, TATN, TATN.
Mouthpiece included.
TATN, TATN, TATN.
Better guard your grill.
TATN, TATN, TATN.
In the building. Welcome to another edition of Mouthpiece Included. Close the window, Karen. All right, this is a pod where we speak on polytricks. Okay, that's a fusion of sports, polytricks, and everything in between the superposition before it collapses upon your observation. Today, we're diving into the raw energy and heated debate that shaped the game. My beloved, yeah, I'm jumping on the bandwagon. I'm ashamed to say, I've become a fair weather Bulls fan. Maybe it's all this living on the coast. But today we're diving into the raw energy and heated debates that shaped the game. Our Bulls are surging back into the limelight, unleashing a blend of veteran savvy Thank you, Karen. And youthful exuberance that's catching opponents off guard. Their explosive performances have reignited fan fervor and added a fresh chapter to our storied franchise out there. In parallel, the next generation appears to potentially be stepping up to the plate. LeBronny James is making clear strides, transforming skepticism from cats like myself into applause with an evolving game that hints at the legacy he's poised to build. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, at the upper echelons of the sport, tension is simmering as LeBron James finds himself in a ferocious verbal sparring match with Stephen A. Goofy. Their latest clash has set the punditry world alight, highlighting not just differing philosophies on the game, but also revealing a side of the superstar that fans have rarely been privy to. He's privy. On the injury front, all eyes on my favorite lady player who I met as a young lady, Juju Watkins. Juju, GOAT Watkins. Too soon? Amid talk of an impending setback reminiscent of the storied injuries that have plagued legends like Michael Jeffrey Jordan, whether it's an unfortunate twist of fate or is this a cautionary tale in the making, this latest development could have far-reaching implications on her playing career. Will she come back to the USC to prove to everybody that knee is recovered, or is she going to jump straight to the W? As we unpack these narratives, we're ready to explore every angle, from court brilliance to behind-the-scenes drama, offering you insight that are as bold and unfiltered as the game itself. The panel's open, links pinned in the chat. It's a Zoom link. Click on that, and you can pop up and excrete your excrement. All are welcome. If you do pull up, we encourage you, don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. So, stand down, stand back, stand by, or pull up. But if you do pull up, slide through. Don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. The views expressed in today's pod are those of the hosts, any guests, and are not necessarily reflective of TATN or any affiliates. All right, everybody, grab your mouthpiece and let's hop to it. Let's get Big Ace in the building. Coach of the Year. Gives back.
TATN.
Hall of Fame dad. Chi-Town Southside representative. The city
what it is.
Yeah. City guy.
Happy Sunday. Happy life day to my mom. 76 years old today. Happy life day, Mom.
Word up. Word, bro. Oh,
yeah.
Man. Happy turn around the sun. And man, you have many, many more, Mother Dub. Many, many more.
Appreciate it. Shout out to Bella Incorporated for the new TATN, Mouthpiece included.
Swag. We got some new swag.
Appreciate you, sweetheart. We'll get you some information out here, make an official sponsor soon.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if you want to order this type of drip, you can communicate with Bella B Designs 365 at gmail.com. Bella B Design. I'll type it in the chat at some point.
All right.
365 at gmail.com. You got any hubbub? Let me put this in the chat.
Hubbub, yeah, it's raining. It went from 65 and the sun was shining. My family went to the Sox game and I stayed home because I got a toe injury from my from one of my
your car got towed?
No, not a toe. A toe. My toe got injured by one of my pairs of Jordans walking around, so I'm gonna have to retire that pair. And but I'm here for Mouthpiece included this beautiful Sunday. But yeah, the Sox tied to the Angels right now, 2-2. And the fan went out to watch the game. He had some free tickets courtesy of CPS. And unfortunately, the rain just started and a rain delay in the 7th inning. But, it's Chicago. It's supposed to be, it was 65 early today. But it's going to snow tomorrow. So.
Listen, buddy, once you move to a fair weather city like LA and you live here a little while, you don't care about those losers. You know what I mean? If they want to be losers, they get zero energy here. You know what I mean? Zero. They got to be in the MLB finals or whatever you call it. I don't know. We either lost.
They got love for the Dodgers when they get to the World Series, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know over there, the Los Angeles Anaheim Angels. What's going on? That they got the greatest. Well, it had a couple of the greatest players in baseball and couldn't get it done for a couple of years. And you had Trout and Ohtani. Then Ohtani's contract ran out. He went to the other side of town.
Because they tripled down on Danny Dimes instead of Ohtani. I mean Trout. They went with Trout. Instead of the Asian Babe Ruth out there.
Yeah, how'd that work out for him?
Maybe we can get Trout on our Cubs. Well, we'll get there. All right, let's jump to it, man. Mama Bear, Juju's mom. We had some footage of her, and it looks like she was, Dan Hurley. No. She was I don't know. Some would say cock blocking. I don't know if we could say that on this show.
No, not Juju's mom. That's Jaden's mom.
Oh, that's Juju's mom, man.
That's Juju's mom?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, because I met her, bro.
I hear their cousins.
Was in 8th grade.
I hear their cousins. Jaden and Juju's mom.
Oh, is it? Really?
Yeah. It's a rumor I've heard. I haven't fact checked it, but I've heard that they're first cousins.
Okay, well, maybe that was her mom. I thought it says she got to protect. She told Juju, yeah, well, that looks just like Juju's mom, and she probably told her y'all related. This is weird.
Probably so.
She looks just like Juju's mom. Right,
yeah.
Let's see if they're gonna give us any love here.
Y'all gotta check this out, man.
Now Juju's 19, Jaden is 24. It's when she does the cute little touch of the ear thing and smiles, and then wait for it later.
She didn't put bad mojo on
the face.
Mama, I realize that you have to pay.
See, look at Juju's face.
Yeah,
that's why I thought it was her mom.
Mom ain't let nobody in close to JD5.
I'm not saying anything, but I'm saying.
Bro, we're going to have to pull up an image of Juju's mom so you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I think I saw it this week. Yeah, they look like first cousins. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead with your take, bro. Let me see if I can find an image.
But I heard that they're rumored that they're first cousins, and this entire scenario was quite funny at the time until a couple of days later that Juju got hurt and tore her ACL. Unfortunately, we'll get to that later. But come on, Mom, they're kids. Now, if they're cousins, that's a different story. But they're youths. He's an aspiring star, and she's definitely a certified star. They're both certified stars. So let kids be kids, especially if they're cousins. Let cousins be cousins. Let them hang out, but just tell them what's going on. But yeah, if they're the moms are first cousins, that makes them what, second, third removed or something? No, not removed, but yeah.
Well, I mean, according to the Bible, we're all related.
Yeah, related. Yeah.
Now, see, this is I'm not sure if that's her dad, but that's her mom's second husband. Because we had a conversation when they were watching my niece play. She played against Juju a while back.
Right.
You see her mom, bro. You know what I'm saying? And neither one of them played college sports, bro. I was sure they were Division I or at least in or something. None of them are sports people, bro. They said Juju just said she wanted to play basketball. They bought her a rim, and she started going crazy in the backyard, and then she got the growth spurt. Man, look at God being God, huh, fella?
Now is Juju by that husband, or is she by the?
I assume that Juju is I don't know. As the more I look into it and think about it, she looks a lot like him. You know, she could be the you know what I mean? I don't know. We don't want to say that.
Yeah,
but she does look a lot like him, doesn't she?
Yeah. She got the mama's genes, though.
Yeah. I don't know, man. They don't talk much about her dad, just like Kamala Harris. You know, the dad. You know, he's just a donor.
Yeah. It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Do we know who LeBron's dad is?
There you go.
Yeah.
Don't even talk about it. Nobody even ask questions. I never even thought about that myself there, fella.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's interesting.
Could it be
All right,
Jordan?
So that's Jaden's mom. Well, I don't know. Mom, your mom's in my business, and you got to get out the picture. I mean, this seems like a nice right? Imagine
just
that.
Hanging out. At least sit on the your son's side, and let him continue the conversation he's having with his friend or cousin or whatever it is. We'll find that out.
Don't act like Juju's a common rat. You don't even see her like on IG wearing the sexy clothes. You don't even see her doing all this. She's just balling.
She's making chop too. I mean, she
right.
Yeah.
I guess there could be worse problems unless she knows something we don't know. But speaking of Juju, it's crazy, bro. I was talking to one of my brothers the night before she got injured, and I was doing my Jordan comparison and blah blah blah, and he was like, "Yeah, as long as she don't get hurt." Roll out of bed the next day, boom, ACL. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, and so we were talking about it, and we both concluded there's only one Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Yeah.
I keep throwing these people out there, Wemby, other people. I never threw LeBron out there. I never threw Kobe. They were trying to ram that down our throats. It was too soon.
It was a narrative about the NBA,
Yeah, and ESPN and everybody. But and then Wemby gets hurt. Jordan got hurt, don't get me wrong, but then the knee. See, Jordan Pip never had that major knee. They always had water on the knee.
Yeah.
Well,
but they worked out. They worked out early in the morning. They got treatment after every game. Yeah, Michael Jeffrey Jordan was out doing his thing late nights, in the off season, but he was always training and he was always getting treatment. And they talk about all of the superior treatment and athletics and doctors and all this crap that they got now, but Michael Jeffrey Jordan played every night.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan, when they were tackling him and elbowing him and people had migraines, he was still out there doing his Doug Dizzle.
Throwing them to the ground. 40 years old playing 80 damn games. Come on.
And big ups and rest up to Kobe too, because Kobe was a play every game type of dude too.
Yeah. He got that mentality from Black Jesus.
Yeah. Non-white Jesus, according to my man, the actor. Can't think of his name right now.
Malik Yoba.
Big ups to Malik Yoba.
Yeah, he's non-white Jesus, right?
We got a poll up, bro, and don't tell me your response. Y'all, I put the link into the chat for this poll. It's right under should be the first link, the ones that's not pinned. It's a poll. All you gotta do is click on it and let us know your thoughts. Who's winning the petty feud between LeBron and Stephen A. Smith? Your options are option number 1, LeBronny. 25% of the respondents thus far has said LeBronny. Option number 2, the Moat. That's the most overrated of all time. Could you agree with that statement? LeBron James is the most overrated of all time in NBA history?
That's pretty strong. I mean, he does have a resume. He has won chips.
Is he number 2 overall? I'm taking my talents here and there. I'm going back to Cleveland. The Miami way ain't the way. I got to go chase it. Instead of I'm going to LA. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
If you're speaking in the realm of him being the greatest of all time, being a GOAT, yes, then he would be the most in that regard.
The Dallas Mavericks shut him down in the finals, bro. Swept his heart away. I can't forget this. He was averaging 2 points in the fourth quarter, bro, and they had Jason Terry guarding him.
6'1", 6'1" guard, locking him down. Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not great.
Yeah.
I'm saying both things could be true.
Yeah.
You know, kind
the
of
greatest
like
of all time is it's a far stretch, especially after growing up in a 6-0 in the finals, never reaching a Game 7, Michael Jeffrey Jordan era.
And the more you're thinking about it, they're forcing the second greatest of all time down my throat.
Who is that?
LeBron. They're saying he's the second greatest of all time. Everybody can agree to that all of a sudden. It's a giant mind trick.
Come on, man. You know that's all propaganda. It's probably spun by his own media machine, and it's not selling gym shoes with him. I mean, probably selling more gym shoes with Jordan. So, yeah, come on. We all know what it is.
All right, let's go to your Bulls, bro. Now, you came out there and lit a fire under me a couple weeks ago talking about how the Bulls were showing you signs. You were ahead of the curve out there.
I'm always ahead of the curve.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
I got to start gambling.
Yeah, but you know how that go.
Yeah.
Honey, we lost the house.
Well, my predictions are looking pretty good for the tournament, too. We'll see what happens after today. But yeah. We'll see what happens. But I liked how they were moving the ball and I still don't like their defense, but I got to get over that because this is the new NBA. But I like how they looked, even though I still don't like Billy Donovan as a playoff coach. But I like how they looked after they got rid of the low IQ ball hog max player that they were holding on to. And, DeMar DeRozan was going by attrition because his contract was up. But now that, they've got some youth in their backcourt at 6'8" and 6'5". Some people thought that Kobe White was a small guard because he was coming out of college. I don't know, but he's 6'5", and he can shoot and he can ball. He still needs to work on increasing his strength and stamina, but that comes along with keep playing in the league. But
man, Kobe White looked like if I stopped at the liquor store over there on 75th and Colfax, he'd be out there with a white T-shirt with the guys. You know what I'm saying? Pick up Kobe White. I swear he looked like he's from the southeast side of Chi. I'd put money on it if I had to. You know what I mean?
If he get in the Breakfast Club, he'll be a superstar. But right now, he's I don't know what he does. I don't speak for what's in his heart and what he does after practice in the off season. But yeah.
All right. Well, we got the Bulls surging. They're 33-41. Yeah. All right. That's 74 games. So what? There's 8 more games left. Flirting. You guys can't see any of this. They're flirting with playoffs here.
Playoffs.
Yeah, and once again, 9th seed. I mean, this has been going on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same prediction every year. They're gonna fill 50-50 ball, make it into the playoff game, lose in the first round.
So they're gonna lose in the playout.
Yeah. Well, if they make it up to,
I got them winning in the first round. Get in, bro.
If they make it up to 8, who's ahead of them? The Hawks.
Yeah, but you got to make it to 7 to not be in the play-in.
And that's
7, 8, 9, 10 in the play-in, actually.
They're 3 games back.
Yeah. So then they seed it like that. So you know what I mean?
So they got to make it to 6 to not be in it.
Correct.
Okay. Well, they're not getting 6. And
that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know what I mean? You got the Heat without Jimmy Butler. You got the Hawks. I mean, Yeah. So what I'm saying, bro, my question for you is, get this off the screen. Why are we 14-23 in the home that Michael Jeffrey Jordan built? How does this make sense?
I don't know. I don't know, man. You got to defend your home court, whatever it takes, whatever effort your players got to give, whatever caution you got to put out there. But you got to defend the home court, and there's no reason, there's no way that your team is much better on the road than they are in their home building. They should be more comfortable. And the guys off the bench should be hitting more shots. You should have different home court strategies as opposed to playing on the road. So you should be more successful at home. But yeah, and you got the crowd. So I don't understand.
The crowd should have the home cooking, the refs. Yeah. You should have drafted and acquired players that, I don't know, I guess it don't matter in basketball, but that can play in there. I'd probably go out, be getting guys who come to United Center and be putting up numbers. Oh, he likes shooting in this background. You know what I mean? Let me get this guy and bring him in here.
There's all analytics now, and you can go out and go right on the computer and find those guys that play well in your building.
That's right.
And now your salary cap is at a point where you can move a couple more players, and you can just go out and get whoever the hell you want to. You got rid of that albatross of a contract with Zach LaVine. DeMar DeRozan moved on happily to some place he wanted to go, even though his family's still living here. I just heard that in the video. I guess he didn't want to move him because of school or something, but that's strange. The last one would be Vukovic, but he's making too much money to play off the bench. And you got Patrick Williams. We can't trade him this year. Maybe we can find somebody that's willing to take a chance on him in the offseason. And you got to bring in some guys that are poor and stupid that want to score in the United Center, and I think they'll be a little bit more successful.
Yeah, keep them off O Block. They hanging out. They probably on 63rd. You know what I mean? And out there, listening to the shoot music. You know what I'm saying? I'm pop pills and hanging out with the guys.
Yeah.
When you should be working on your game.
Absolutely.
Let's shift gears, bro. We got Dan Hurley. You dropped dead gorgeous. All right, smart. Back to back.
Definitely smart.
Yeah, champs. Probably could have been coaching the Lakers and everything.
Yeah.
We got an article I feel like would be probably different if it was Eric Bieniemy or someone of class who did this similar thing. But this is a Sports Illustrated article. Dan Hurley ripped for his classless behavior after UConn's loss to Florida.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's the brother. That's Bobby Hurley's brother.
I was wondering. I was just going to ask you if there's any relation.
Yeah.
So he's Rat Boy's brother.
Yeah, the dad is a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah, Jim Rat Boy.
Yeah.
Rat Boy. Dan Hurley. Bobby was a gym
Bobby
rat.
was a rat boy. Yeah,
and he looked like a rat, and he smoked cigarettes in the locker room at halftime. But go on. I'm not making this up.
And Dan is he got his coaching lineage from the Hall of Fame dad coach. Yeah.
Ah, okay. All right. Oh, that's a high school coach, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. All right. So Dan, they were eliminated. They lost 77-75 to the number 1 seed Florida. While the game was one of the best, you can hear Hurley saying, I hope they don't F you like they F'd us. Baylor. I really hope they don't. Moments later, Hurley told CBS Tracy Wolfson, there's honor in the way we went out. Hurley's NSFW words while leaving the floor seemed like the opposite of honor he later spoke about. So there's a lot of comments. What's your take on this there, fella? I mean, is it much to do about nothing? You're a coach.
Yeah, I believe it was just a lot of emotion after leaving the court. They're the defending two-time champs. So, he'd been getting the calls the last couple of years. I mean, they won the tournament the last couple of years, and you feel you didn't get them to this day when your team got eliminated. Just emotions. He was a little bit more emotional when he spoke to the reporter after making those comments, saying how much he revered and loved his team, and that they did everything they could to win, and they went out like a champ that was fighting for their lives. But it is what it is. Video don't lie, and I'd say give him a mulligan. He was a coach that just lost in the tournament, and he felt that his team did what it took to win. Maybe there was some controversial calls, but that's in every damn game: basketball, baseball, football, and he just had his emotions on his sleeve when he was walking out after the game, and I believe it's much to do about nothing.
Well, somewhat agree with your take. Just wanted to point that out because, again, I feel like in my heart, I mean, you guys don't know what's in my heart.
I don't know.
If he was a copper-colored Corch, Stephen A. and everybody be shouting about it. My man go on his podcast, Shannon Sharp, what you did, 2 chips. All right, big ups to Shannon, though. All right, let's push on. LaDad. We got LaDad. LaDad James, proud of surging LeBronny. Okay. LeBron James posted fired up message after LeBronny's best game as a pro. Perhaps nobody was more excited to see LeBronny record his best game as a pro than his dad. Bronny scored a career high 39 points, which LeBron said the kid was upset that he missed the technical and he could have put up 40. These are private conversations between a son and a dad, and then the dad goes out there and blabs it to the world.
About his G League performance. Yeah.
All right. Though LeBron was not able to watch the game in person because he was playing for the Lakers and they lost to the Magic, he had a chance to pick himself up from the loss by seeing his son's highlights. After the game, LeBron posted a fire-up message. Smile through it all, young Prince, using the Prince emoji. Keep going, because his kid's coming up in the struggle. You know what I mean? He's pouring struggling.
He had to make it through the tough streets of Bel Air or Calabasas.
Tough streets.
Drive up in his Beamer, Benz, and Bentley to school, and play on those Sierra Canyon teams with just whoever showed up.
Where he came off the bench.
And
now. Back in high school, I think maybe LeBronny and Juju was doing something because Bronny, I met him at the game where I met Juju, and not the first time I saw her play, but the second time. She was a little older, and Bronny was there. He had some security with him. Humble dude, gave me a pound. Good guy, man. You know what I'm saying? But I think they may have something going on. I don't know. I'm not going to put that rumor out there. All right. I belong out here. Go ahead.
They both went to the same university, so it's a possibility. It's love and basketball.
And the same high school.
Yeah, love and basketball. That's all it is.
Yeah, that'd be a nice part too. I belong out here. It's all I'm trying to prove, said LeBronny. Bronny then added another 30-point game to his resume and surpasses his previous Gangster League career high of 31 points. He recently set a new career NBA high, scoring 17 points in the Lakers loss to the Bucks.
Oh, wow.
He's currently averaging 22.4 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game in the G League.
Killing the
This
garbage
is why
time.
I told you, and even LeBron has doubled down on it. If I was that shithole Bulls management, I would offer LeBron the league veteran minimum because we got your boy. If you want to play for us, you're going to take a team-friendly deal. This is the house that Michael Jordan built. We could care less about you and Worldwide West. We could care less. What's your take on that?
The Lakers weren't going to let him out of town. They want to do what it took to, unless the Bulls drafted him in the first round, and they would have been the bigger laughing stock of the damn NBA. Even though
he went in the second round, we were drafting before them in the second round. We could have taken him. We could have taken a flyer on LeBronny James and a second round pick. And look, we got $20 million between the both of y'all. Y'all figure out who wants to get paid what.
Okay. Well, I mean, what's Bronny making $3 million and LeBron to take a team-friendly $17 million deal?
There you go.
Okay.
Sounds like Bronny, well, have the dad wants to, you know what I mean? That's between y'all.
But it also could have boosted up the Windy City Bulls that's playing up in Hoffman Estates. And you could. No, if he would have came here, probably would have been. He would have been on the big squad the entire year. But
and
you probably would
if you
have.
want to chase Jordan, you come to Chicago, you get us 1 or 2 chips in the house that Michael Jeffrey Jordan built in the shadow of the great Derrick Rose and Scottie Pippen and Butterbean. You know what I mean? If you got us a chip or 2,
Butterbean.
Yeah, maybe some of us Jordan disciples out there would probably be like, yeah, all right, he's number 2.
He can flirt with number 2.
Yeah, he's not the moat.
No. I see your point. I don't think LA would have let him go. They would have did whatever it took to keep him.
They couldn't do nothing. He was out there. He said, if you want me, after I said it on Mouthpiece Included, because nobody knew about it, he came out and said it. If y'all want me, sign my son. So there's nothing the Lakers could have done about it besides offer the Bulls. You know what? We'll give you Anthony Davis for Bronny James.
You can have him. Okay. He'll be on the first thing smoking. Matter of fact, he never has to leave LA. Just send AD and we'll take you can have LeBron and our second round draft pick next year.
Yeah, but they probably would have gave us the white dude that be shooting on for the Lakers. You know, he'd be balling out there, bro.
They couldn't have gave us nothing else because we couldn't have matched them money wise unless we could have sent them Bronny and Zach LaVine. And
LeBron was he's a free agent. He can go anywhere he wants to go after every season.
Okay.
Player option. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's got a player option now. He's one of those guys.
Well, I mean, if they would have, if they really wanted Bronny that much, and to keep your boy in LA, LeBron, LA, yeah. But we got to match money wise what we send to them. So it would have worked out if we could have, got rid of
it. Wouldn't have been a trade.
Contract.
It wouldn't have been a trade. He'd have left. He wouldn't have re-signed in LA, and he would have came and signed with the Bulls on a team-friendly deal. I would have had all the cards. He'd have sat down in front of me. I'd have had a big picture of Michael Jordan. Matter of fact, we'd have met right under the Michael Jordan statue. Look, little bitch. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We've been watching you a long time, taking passive-aggressive shots at the GOAT. We got your son here. We own him now.
He's our
We own him.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And if you want to play for us, boom. You know what I'm saying? If not, good luck.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get a relationship. Screw him and World Wide West, and big ups to him for the business acumen. All right. All right. LeBron big ups the GOAT. All right. So there's a quote. It's behind me. What does that quote say?
He's one of the most ruthless competitors there is. I wear number 23 because of MJ. Yeah.
It's taken him 40 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what does it mean, one of the most ruthless competitors? What does he mean by one of the most?
Now, everybody in the NBA and the history in the NBA that's played against Michael Jeffrey Jordan, talked to him, played poker with him, played golf with him, say he's the most competitive man they've ever met in their damn life.
Backgammon, bones, jacks, anything.
Yeah. Auto racer, whatever. Michael Jeffrey Jordan was a motorcycle racer for a little while out there until somebody, I think probably his new wife told him, like, cut that out. But for you to come out and say he's one of the most ruthless competitors there is, so who else are you comparing him to? And why are you taking the competitive crown away from Michael Jeffrey Jordan just to justify you wearing number 23? Come on, man. I think he's an actor. I think he's working on his acting skills. What was the movie he was in last year? House Party. They redid House Party at LeBron's house. Yeah.
Was Diddy there?
No, Diddy was not there.
Well, allegedly LeBron was.
He's a diddler.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that, but he was at the parties. You know what I'm saying? Like,
allegedly. If you ask him, he'll say he left early because he had to get to practice, or he had to get home. But that's allegedly. You can't put a Diddy party on LeBron. Not yet.
I think there was footage of him talking about it. And when is my invite? All right. I'm not saying he was tied to anything weird. That man, so many people went to the Diddy parties, bro. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody wanted to be at a Diddy party, whether it was at his house in Miami or in the Hamptons or wherever he was having a party at. Yeah. It's just a matter of how long you stayed.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. What room you went into?
Nobody wants to admit what room they went into and how long they stayed, especially now. But Diddy has all the he knows where the bones are buried. And stay tuned for his tell-all book in the summer of 2026.
If I did do all that, I would have put such and such. I would have put such and such chemical in the baby oil.
Allegedly.
Free Diddy.
Free Diddy.
All right.
Free Kales.
Yeah, free Kales. You know what I mean? All right. Here we go. LeBron James reveals why he and Michael Jeffrey Jordan don't talk. You can't reveal why Michael Jeffrey Jordan doesn't talk to you. Did Michael Jeffrey Jordan tell you any of this? But anyway.
He would never admit that he doesn't talk to you. He just doesn't talk to you. and y'all billionaires, allegedly. So why the hell would you come out with this kind of information? But go ahead.
All right. All right. LeBron. All right. LeBron James chose to wear number 23, but no shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because of his childhood basketball hero, Michael Jordan. I mean, right?
Everybody did.
As he nears the end of his 21st NBA season.
21 season. He's on a deer antler spread for real.
Allegedly.
James
and Jordan are in the absolute top tier of NBA greats, but the two don't have the warmest relationship. LeBron isn't too concerned about it. When asked about it during his lengthy appearance on the Pat McAfee show.
Pat McAfee.
Oh, yeah. We don't know what's in his heart. Indiana, KKK state.
Yeah.
We don't know what's in McAfee's heart. But I'll tell you what, if I met that guy down there at U of I, you'd know after 3 minutes, this racist SOB is weak. And you'd put him right in his place, too.
He'd run.
Yeah, you think you're smart.
He's a kicker, too. Come on.
Yeah, you think you're smarter than me and you think I won't kick your ass. We're in a good spot. We don't talk because I'm still playing. I'm still focused on my craft right now. You hear this? I mean, this guy. I think it's because I'm still playing. And MJ, we all know MJ, even if you don't know him personally. He's one of the most ruthless competitors there is until I'm done and he doesn't have to look at me run up and down wearing the number 23. And every time my name is mentioned with his, he's like, I don't want to effing talk to you. Okay, come on, man. Give me your take on this, bro.
This guy is a complete and total narcissist. I mean, I come on. Everything isn't about you. And especially when it comes to Michael Jeffrey Jordan, he doesn't talk to you because you're not his friend. He has no reason to talk to you. He was friends with Charles Barkley, and Charles Barkley came out with some nonsense talking about him. He hasn't had any reason to talk to him since. Now, what the hell does he care about talking to LeBron James, a kid in his eyes? Come on, man. Stop it.
Well, Ace, ask me. Ask me why don't me and Michael Jeffrey Jordan don't talk. Ask me.
Yeah, LeBron. Can you give me a good reason why you, one of the greatest players in the history of basketball, don't talk to Michael Jeffrey Jordan?
I'm going to answer as 9 Milz. As 9 Milz. Michael, why doesn't Michael Jeffrey Jordan talk to me?
Okay.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan doesn't talk to me because he's a busy billionaire businessman, and he's the greatest basketball player to ever walk the face of the earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
He knows, Michael Jordan knows that, we're still building the pod and getting the show going.
All right.
So I can be narcissistic too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
LeBron, the appropriate thing is say, I don't know. I can only speak for myself, right?
Yeah.
We just haven't had any communication. You know what I mean? But I don't know what's in Mike's heart. I don't know. First of all, have you reached out? This is horrible journalism. Do you reach out to him? Have you reached out to that man and said, you're a billionaire and I'm walking in your shoes and you could be a perfect mentor? We
Right.
can understand each other. Have you had your team reach out to him, or have you just been taking little pot shots at him?
Yeah.
Because Kobe was reaching out to him and just kept it on the low.
Try alert me to why my shoes, which I'm still playing, are selling for less than your shoes that you were wearing 40 years ago. Help me out with something. We both are endorsed or work work with the same company. At least business wise, that's a start for you to try and speak to or get in the mindset of a Michael Jeffrey Jordan. But if you want him to talk to you as your friend or buddy, he has absolutely zero reason, time, or mentality to talk to you. Because why? He talked to you at the 75th anniversary game of all the great players, 75 greatest games, and that's probably the last time you talked to the man. So come on.
The league is a fraternity. I happen to be in a fraternity. It's like one of the young bucks on the yard suggesting, yeah, Brother Milz don't talk to me because I'm still in school.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Yes, it's nonsense. I would think that Michael Jordan would take a meeting with LeBron. You know what I mean? He would have time for that. Maybe meet him on the golf course, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And if you truly wanted to talk to that man, if you weren't just trying to, low key stab him in the back, I think you'd have reached out to him, a la Kobe Bean Bryant, rest his soul.
Absolutely.
To pick his brain about the game.
Yeah. Kobe would see him and say, I need to talk to you. Help me with this. Show me this. Yeah. But, the brand has no reason to talk to Michael Jeffrey Jordan because his brand of basketball is the greatest of all time. And,
playing the right way.
Yeah.
All right. Now we got James compared the situation to his relationship with fellow LA Lakers great Kobe Bryant. May he rest in peace. The two weren't close while LeBron was with the Cavaliers and the Heat, but their, quote, friendship grew while playing together in the Olympics and really took off after Bryant retired in 2016. And then James joined the Lakers. Now, I think all of this is false until he said
Allegedly.
and James joined the Lakers. And when James joined the Lakers, I believe that's when Kobe said, okay, he's a Laker.
Allegedly.
Because
this is his story and we can't ask Kobe. Yeah.
The funny thing is, me and Kobe never had a real relationship either. The question is why? Hold it. Until we was on the Olympic team, we had a great relationship there, but it was always competitive between us. Until I became a Laker and he retired, that's when our relationship became really, really good. He welcomed me. He called me bro. Bro, anything you need in LA, I got you. You're a Laker now. You're family. James says he hopes and believes he'll have a similar relationship with the GOAT after he retires, to the embrace they shared, like you mentioned, at the 75th anniversary. Okay. That was dope. That's straight respect, admiration, and just like me, for sure, I wear 23 because of MJ. And that inspiration that he gave me as a kid in Akron that don't have much inspiration in your hometown, you look at something. It's got to be somebody in sports, somebody in music, somebody on a TV screen. So like Will Smith from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Michael Jordan playing for the Bulls, Jay-Z at the Diddy parties, allegedly, Biggie and Tupac. Those was my inspirations.
Yeah, you gotta take everything this guy says with a grain of salt. Especially after the Pat McAfee crap and all this stuff he got going on with a damn TV reporter about his son who's he's got to learn his own way and try and be do his own thing as a future NBA player.
No, great segue, man. We're going to jump to that right now.
Everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah, the Pat McAfee. Let's talk about that. Let's unpack McAfee. So LeBron goes into Stephen A's backyard. So this all started when LeBron stood over Stephen A. At the game, during the game.
Yeah.
And allegedly was using profanities and basically threatening the man. And I saw, man, security. I didn't notice that, but there was a dude taller and bigger than LeBron standing right behind. Man, LeBron would have got it. That would have been horrible. It would have been a horrible thing if that would have been. Oh my God! And that's why LeBron didn't do something. That dude was big, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, Stephen A. has security just like LeBron has security when he goes places. So,
yeah. So, all right. Before we get all into that, one thing LeBron said on that show, bro, he said that Giannis would average 250 points a game if he played in the 70s. This is what this man said.
Yeah, come on, man. Stop it. I didn't even listen to the interview. I listen to bits and pieces because, come on, man, stop it. Stop it. You're downgrading the players.
He's down. Go ahead, man. Dr. J.
Will Chamberlain. The players that came before you.
Chocolate Thunder would have been tackling. He can't even shoot free throws.
And you're talking about the men that used to be in the post back in that era. That you weren't coming. You just weren't coming and lolly-dollying and poster dunking and rolling down the middle of the lane and dunking. Yeah, you might get one of those a game, but when you try to do that shit again, somebody's gonna put you on your ass, and then they come to you and tell you like, "Hey, man, you're not doing that here. You and I building, or we this is the post. We're not giving that up." And to say that Giannis, who's hurt every year and can't shoot free throws, will score 250 points a game against these grown men that was really playing for their families. They was selling insurance or working in the off season, regular jobs. You'd think they wouldn't come and put a elbow in the chest of some athlete trying to flow down the lane and dunk on them every time.
250 points a game.
Right.
To say that on national TV, it is so disrespectful, bro.
Yeah.
Then he went on a rant. And Kyrie, did you see his dribbling? He said they would have banned dribbling and told Kyrie he couldn't dribble anymore. Like, okay, have you ever heard of Pistol Pete effing Maravich?
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas?
Earl Pearl Washington.
Tim Hardaway?
Yeah. Come on, dude. Stop it. The league didn't start when you got to the league. It started a long time ago. Offense and defense started a long time ago. You guys don't play defense anymore. Can't touch anybody.
Correct.
You can't hand check. You can't keep guys out of the lane. There's no relevance for shot blockers or post play. Come on, man. Stop.
And you know what he's suggesting?
Yeah.
He wants his minions to say, and if LeBron saying this dude can average 250, LeBron would have been giving him 300 in the 70s. You think they were memes? You think those memes were gonna watch you run up and down there and put up 300 points?
No, bust your ass. That Deanna spray wouldn't have been working. All that you wouldn't have had the cryogenic chambers and the you got your ass in the hot and cold tub, put ice on your ankles and your knees, and you try and make it out. But you couldn't even compare to that because you've been on load management, bed rest for most of your career.
You've played for more organizations than you've got chips. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
I don't know. It's close. Yeah. I can get the point home. You know what I mean?
Cleveland and LA and Miami and Cleveland twice. So
it's 3 organizations, but 3. I'm gonna take my talents here.
4 stops.
100%.
And the last one doesn't count because it was in a damn bubble and it was made up by Disney. So he's only got 3.
So I agree. So we got a video here, bro. I just want to run. It's his comments on Windhorse. No. Let's just go ahead. Fair use. I'll play the sound only. Let's see if we can get away with that. Fair use. This is LeBron on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about Windhorse.
We don't know what it's finished.
Hey, legit. That feels.
Listen to this laugh. Listen to this narcissistic,
satanic,
superhero laugh, trying to act like, oh, I don't care about Stephen A. Smith, but yet I'm in his backyard, talking to it. We don't know what's in his heart.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads obviously to you and Stephen A. Hey, legit. That feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh, yeah.
Compare the black man to a woman, pink woman.
And we're watching it.
Yep.
We're all seeing it.
Oh, yeah.
We're all. You're seeing it as well. It's
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah, on fire. You would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you can address it, it's your ass. Like, seriously, it's.
You call that man an MF. Is that calling him out his name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Let him continue on with this nonsense.
And like he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever
never ever
allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. And I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about him again.
So why are you doing it?
Right. There's no reason to. He addressed it. He said, he talked to you and y'all hashed it out, whatever. There's no reason to even address it again. Give it any energy, especially go on Pat McAfee show and give it energy.
Right. You could have came to Stephen A's show and done this, or you could have brought Stephen A to your pod and done it.
Yeah.
Or you could have went to any Copper Colors pod, Draymond Green's pod. You could have came on Mouthpiece Incl.
Up in smoke, anybody,
Yeah. But you go out here and with the divide and conquerors.
Oh my God, he's gonna get home and grab some ice cream out of the fucking freezer and sit.
And does he talk like this?
Yeah, maybe he does. Around the colonizers.
This
in his chair and his tighty whities on the couch.
I hope at some point you two do get a chance. But you're right.
Dude, relax, bro. Relax. Seriously, just
Kind of on that note, Bronny, your son, he's obviously had that inspiration in the home, and we talked about it since years ago, wanting to play. Just an unbelievable moment. So
snatch it out the air and run back to the dugout like I'm floating. And I can only imagine where Bronny was. I don't know. I never. Or he never started to become, strong and run fast and all those.
Experience his dream. Then obviously that led to the thing with Stephen A talking about him and how
you keep bringing it back up, colonizer.
Critical everybody has been of Bronny, and I think that's a pressure that a second generation star has on him.
Yeah, for
his
sure.
whole life he's had that. It feels like he is very.
Pat McAfee was critical as hell of Bronny coming to the league. And if you had a half of gonad in your pants, LeBron, you'd be calling him on it since you like to call Windhorse and everybody out.
Right. Yeah.
You're right there in this dude's face.
No gonads. He just wants to be buddies. He's my buddy.
Well, his brand needs the conservative because he pissed him off with his comments and all the woke stuff. And so now the brand.
He wouldn't let him know that's all over.
Yeah, because you're right. Because it's no longer popular.
Cool. Yeah.
No longer cool. Yeah.
I mean, he's like a 55-year-old, it looks like, the way he kind of handles it all, and I think you've even said that as well.
Yeah.
But how about his development? We had Rich Paul on the day after the draft.
Yeah,
man.
Because there was a bunch of rumors about Rich Paul was telling teams, hey, you draft him, we'll send him to Australia.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of those types.
Yeah, he's gonna be in Australia then, bitch. That's why they don't let guys like me be in the GM. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fuck where he goes. This guy's garbage anyway.
Somebody's got to tell Rich Paul that. I mean, they have some clients, but they don't have them all. I mean, LeBron's going to be out of the league soon.
You know what I mean?
What is his power then?
I mean, regardless, you know what I'm saying? I own this team, bro. That's like somebody coming in your house telling you how stuff's gonna be. Well, if you don't let my son move in here, he's gonna. If you don't let my son move in here,
come on, let me take you right out here.
Yeah, he's gonna move to O Block. All right, well, you know, good luck to him.
You need a recommendation of a moving company? You need the car towed over there or something? Let me know.
Things happening. Allegedly, the Suns were involved. There was a chance they could get you, but he ends up with the Lakers with you.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a whole storm. Like, LeBron James is bullying, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
everything, the way it always goes.
Of course.
This guy's not good enough. This guy's not this. And he does start out a little bit rough, NBA-wise. But now, I mean, he just dropped 39 last night in the G League. I think he had like a double-double or something. He had his best game in the NBA last week. He's obviously getting better and better. You have to be loving every moment. And how proud of Bronny are you for what he's going through? And
listen, for me as a dad, it doesn't matter if he never scores. For me as a dad, I'm just super proud of him, period, as a young man.
Wait a minute. I'm not a dad. Ain't no way in hell it doesn't matter to me if my son's not scoring.
If he doesn't score, man, come on, man. If my son's up here, especially playing on the team I'm on, damn it, he got to be up here balling.
Especially if you know he's putting the work in, like Bronny's putting the work in.
Yeah.
If he's not scoring, all right,
for me as a mentor and as a teammate of his, and that wants to see him thrive because I've seen the work he's put into the game, I am super proud of his development to where he is now. From the moment that, he was drafted in June of 2025 to us being now in March of 2026, his development is skyrocketed, and I just think I had a good friend of mine, who went through a cardiac arrest as well. And he told me that, it took him, and he played basketball as well. And back then when it happened to him in the early 2000s, they wasn't with arrest. It is over. We don't want this on our resume. Like my body, my mind, and, he said when it happened to me, I was 23 years old. Bronny was 19 years old, and he's like, it's gonna take a little time, and I reason with that, but also he's doing things right now less than 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's just because of his determination and his will to want to get better and his
Bryce, right?
Yeah. And so and I just tell him it doesn't matter about the noise. That's gonna happen. It's only about if you love it, go out.
So why are you going through all this if the noise doesn't matter? See, and that was one thing, bro. Michael Jordan, they ignored all of the media. They gave those people no power.
Yeah.
They'd be like, I don't watch that shit.
Yeah. Man, it's about us. We're on our journey to another championship.
Yeah.
Go out and practice. If you think if you fall in love with it, you only can fall in love with the process. Don't worry about the outcome. Fall in love with the process, and that shit will take care of it.
So you went and chased chips and chased your legacy, but you didn't worry about the outcome, LeBron?
No. Yeah. Everything he says, man.
This wasn't intended to be a LeBron hate fest.
Super proud of Bronny, man. I know very long-winded when you talk about the kids. I just start thinking about them, but super proud of his game and where he is today. Starting off the G League season with just trying to figure it out, and now, shit, like you said last night, 39.
Like you said, Ace, we're talking about the G League.
Yeah,
and more.
You just stand around and shoot 3-pointers. You get hot one night, you can score 39. You score 50.
To him, he was more pissed off at the technical free throw that he missed more than anything. He's like, I could have had a 40 burger.
See, this
yeah,
I'd have told my son.
Who gives a shit?
But if you're right, but if you're a stat patter like I believe LeBron James has been, it matters.
That's important to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit about a technical free throw scoring 40.
Correct.
Yeah,
He's been hearing LeBron come home talking about, baby, I missed that free throw. I could have had another triple double after a win. He's been hearing his dad talk like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And why is he still living with them? God damn. Yeah, you got $9 million contract. I know your people got a mansion, but damn it, get out there and
I know you got a trust fund.
Yeah, live your life.
Yeah.
He said I could have had a 40 ball and I missed that damn technical free throw. So man, the kid is he's awesome.
He's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
It is, and the story has gotten so loud.
And I got reason to believe USC is handing out college degrees like candy as long as you can afford it.
Yeah.
I interview every student. I'd be like, have you seen this person? Caleb Williams? Never seen him a day in my life. Have you ever seen Bronny on campus? Never seen him a day in my life. Have you ever seen Juju? Never seen her a day. Like, I don't think they even got to. You remember the flying aisle now? At least had to walk around campus every now and then and show up for the finals.
Yeah, I mean, we see him at the at Barnett's Liquors, and getting a case of 40s and help you out.
You remember you're taking some slap happy class and you see him during finals week.
Yeah. The times have changed. I mean, maybe since they're superstars, they can do all this online now.
Yeah, that's what it is, online. So you can hire a homeless guy who's smart, but just you know what I mean, get over the You give him the MEP, he's studying all this stuff.
I mean, I'm working on this damn
degree. Working. Get you some sleep for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna have some more MEP for you. Big ups to all the MEP users. It's a serious affliction.
Shout out to the MEPs.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, listening to you talk and you say you get long-winded about the kid, it's like, well, that's why everything happened. That happened a couple weeks ago. But like you playing with...
So you keep bringing it back up, colonizer.
Tim, obviously was a dream. You said that years ago. Bryce now, though, I mean...
Very possible.
That is...
Oh, don't do that to me.
Yeah, Bryce supposed to be the one, man.
Yeah, he looks like the one. And I hope they leave him alone, let him stay in college as long as he wants to, and live his life.
Yeah, I agree. So why do you think LeBron went on the Pat McAfee show? What was his motivation?
His motivation was probably to it was a pre-arrangement with Pat McAfee to put his narrative out. Is there anything that LeBron does or speaks on or pontificates on is his narrative, whether it's a narrative at the time that Bronny was ready to go to the NBA, he should be drafted, that Bronny is improving in the G League, that Bronny is improving in the NBA, that Bronny is this and Bronny is that, and he's a super
that Bronny
dad.
Can't travel on the road with the Lakers because I don't want him to see his dad out there living his double life.
Yeah, all of that. So as long as Pat McAfee was allowed to throw his meatball layups to LeBron, occasionally he threw in a Stephen A. Smith, which is what they probably talked about before this interview, then that was the reason for him to go on Pat McAfee's show as opposed to another podcast or another show which is as popular or more popular than Pat McAfee and be faced with the truth. And the truth of the situation, the truth of the altercation, and the truth of what this situation is basically it was all about him to put Bronny in the NBA before his time, right after being diagnosed with this heart condition, without really proving anything in college. It was all about LeBron, and Pat McAfee would never put that truth statement on him. And, that's what it was. So that's probably why and the only reason why he went on this show as opposed to
You
going
want
to-
answers? I think
to
I'm
another
entitled. You
podcast.
want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Right. Absolutely. So that that's my take on it. Yeah. You can go on there and flutter and float around whatever kind crap you want to tell, but I think he was just trying to avoid being in a situation where he had to put the truth out there. It is what it is.
Well, he took a couple minutes to just take a low ball blow at Windhorse, and we don't know what's in his heart, but and my spidey senses tingle on this SOB too. But all of the copper colored pundits are just coming out really in defense of B-Win, but it seems like they can care less about Stephen A being dragged. You know what I mean? This is something about our Constitution, maybe our programming as copper coloreds, that we're more aghast at, why would you take a shot at Windhorse? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And another problem I have is, a podcast or telecast with LeBron is going to have millions of views. And why wouldn't you give that to, someone of your own ilk, your own likeness, your own blood, your own color, as opposed to going on the Pat McAfee show?
Yeah, he could have sat on his show and had a conversation with Worldwide West or Rich Paul.
Yeah. Yeah, and they could have talked about it, and he could have gave him the same meatball damn questions about Bronny having a great G League game or having his career high in the NBA,
and it would have went viral.
Yeah.
He could have came on Unk's show.
Yeah.
Unk, you know what I mean? But he's mad at Unk because Unk's been criticizing him here and there. Same thing with Windhorse. It's all good with LeBron until you start criticizing him about it. You can't criticize the king about anything. He's narcissistic.
Yeah.
He literally believes he's the king, and that's how certain kings rule. You literally can't tell them their shit stinks.
Absolutely. That's
so
why
LeBron James, at least hire a jester. And I'm willing to be your jester, $175,000 a year. I'll walk around with you. I'll show up to your house and I'll clown the shit out of you in front of everybody in your court.
Well, that's definitely the reason why he hasn't been on Mouthpiece Included yet, because of his narcissism and his he would have to tell the truth on here. There would be no.
Is this ego so bloated that you don't think you could do a roast? Oh, I'd love to see a celebrity roast of LeBron James.
No way he would do a roast. No way. Now everybody talks about the bloated ego of Tom Brady, but he put himself out there for 3 hours.
Yeah,
let himself get rid. There's no way, even at retirement, that LeBron would allow that to happen.
I'd love to roast Corch.
Oh,
yeah, for his birthday. Gym Recovery, you guys, for your Chicago towing needs in Chicago area. Look up Gym Recovery. Here's LeBron on Windhorse, who's been covering him since junior high. Windhorse was a young guy on the beat, and they assign you to the high school and sports so you can build your name. Yeah. And he happened to be there at the time where a young LeBron James was, all the talk. So, and in my mind, and I'll get your take on it, Windhorse has been like, I thought he was signed with Rich Paul, and I still need to double check that because, all he does is says good things about LeBron. But here's LeBron.
I feel like in order for, myself to make a name for myself, obviously I knew the play was going to take care of itself because I knew how much I committed to it, but also I wanted to handle the responsibility, of showing a face of the league in the sense of like a modern citizen, being a role model. It was, we have guys who, didn't want to be a role model to the sport, or didn't want to be a role model to the game, didn't want to appreciate the game or commit to the game. And I felt like, I had an opportunity to not only
bed rest.
Mm-hmm. I didn't take a game off and come to the city and talk to my friends in the stands where I got my jogging suit on, even though they hiked up the prices for tonight for you to come see me stand around in my damn jogging suit, not knowing that I wasn't going to play because it was going to be a bed rest game. Yeah, you're not.
And then watch me clowning on the bench like an everyday buffoon.
Yeah.
Instead of somebody who's claiming to be the GOAT. If you ever saw Michael Jordan over there and the team was playing, he probably would have been working out, trying to get himself better during the game.
Yeah.
Or he would have been over on the bench, intense, wishing he was out there looking intense, but not clowning around and looking out into the stands and being a buffoon.
Yeah, well, we never could know that because Michael Jeffrey Jordan was out there every night.
That's a great point.
Not only play the game that I love, but also I wanted fans to follow me. I wanted people to follow my journey. And what came out of that was me kind of being, I guess people say, the face of the league.
Yeah, the Sprite commercials.
You know, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I never went out to be like, I want to be the face of the league. Like, I seen I see a lot of shit, too. Like, I seen Brian Windhurst on one of these shows not too long ago. Like,
Wendy.
Yeah, you played over high school.
Wendy, you guys played together in high school.
Yeah,
right? He was on your high school
this
team.
guy was like, says he's like my fucking.
Now, they didn't play together in high school. It's like LeBron's not even listening.
Yeah.
LeBron's supposed to say, man, no, hell no, that dude wasn't on our team.
Yeah.
Make that clear.
Yeah. You know everybody you've played with, especially in high school.
Come on, bro, and you dissing the guy. So, like,
best friend.
These guys
Wendy, you guys played together in high school.
Yeah,
right? He was on your high school.
That was fact check. They never played together in high school. How can you take that, LeBron?
Yeah, he doesn't know. It's all about him.
Oh yeah,
he might have been on the bench or the team manager. I don't know.
He wasn't. The guy was a journalist working for the newspaper covering the local beat sports. He probably thought, is that guy on our team? He probably put a uniform on and I'm doing undercover work. That's ridiculous.
This guy was like, says he's like my fucking best friend. These guys are just weird. But
wait, Wendy,
look at this picture, bro. They trying to say he played in high school with him. Oh, you can't see it. I mean, LeBron, are you kidding me? I got to show you this. You getting that, Jim?
Yeah.
And this is the research McAfee is doing. Getting paid the most at ESPN.
Yeah.
He saw that and was like, oh, they play together in high school.
I know. They might have went to lunch together. But play together, come on.
All right, we ain't gonna play the whole thing, but I want to get to where he's talking about Wendy. Hold on.
Like, oh, don't let LeBron fool you. Like,
you guys played together in high school.
Yeah,
right? He was on your high school
this
team.
guy was like, says he's like my fucking best friend. These guys are just weird. But
wait, Wendy, that's not real.
Yeah, he was our forcer, huh?
Knew it.
He went on his show and said, like, oh, don't let LeBron fool you. Like, he wears number 23 because of Michael Jordan. Okay, that's a fact. He signed with Nike because of Michael Jordan. It's like, no, the fuck I didn't.
You did.
I signed with Nike because I got a hell of a signing bonus. And they gave me a 7-year, $90 million contract. And I moved my mom out of the hood the next day I signed that contract. Like, and ultimately,
your mom was still in the hood before you signed with Nike.
Yeah.
How much money do these guys need to move their mom out of the neighborhood?
I just need $100,000.
That first NBA check, that rookie check, she out.
Yeah. Right. If it's the suburbs of Chicago, you can
condo or something. Yeah, you're gonna get off.
They don't need much. They don't need $1 million crib. They just need some place to lay their head that's safe and come on, man.
The math don't be mathing when I be listening to this dude.
Nah.
Of course, his mom allegedly was sleeping with the dude that's out there living on the street right now.
Oh yeah. Damn, I forget his name. Yeah, his teammate.
That's why he took his talents to Miami.
Yeah, man.
Allegedly.
If you were the GOAT, you could have got that guy off the team. If that situation was going on, if it was, they would have got rid of him easily to keep you. You just wanted to go somewhere where you can try and win a chip because you couldn't get it done by yourself.
And he don't expect American media to talk about those things, huh?
Right, no. Not the Pat McAfee show.
Whole thing is like, what do I want to wear off the court? It's like, I want to wear fucking Nikes. Like, I want to wear Jordans. I want to wear pennies. I want to wear Bo Jacksons. I want to wear Air Maxes. I want to wear, like, You know, so
primes.
Like, you know, like what are we talking about? So like
he just said it. I want to wear Jordans.
I knew there was a responsibility for sure. Like, listen, man, during the ball drop, you know, during the lottery drop, Cleveland got the #1 pick. I just don't think that was. That was just,
what are you?
What a coincidence!
Don't you think?
Wemby with the Spurs. That was a coincidence.
Oh my God!
Chicago.
Let's keep LeBron home. You know what? Patrick Ewing to the Knicks. You know, Derrick Rose to the Bulls. Like, I understand the assignment, guys.
Is he suggesting what we've been suggesting, that the lottery is a sham?
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know the shit's fixed.
Should he be saying that?
No. Well, he's on his way out, so he feels he can say anything.
Wow. Nobody's even said nothing about that.
Yeah, well, you know, Pat McAfee's not gonna expound on that. You know, all of the clips that they put out on this particular interview, nothing has come out saying that LeBron has suggested that the NBA lottery is fixed.
It's a sham.
Yeah.
Oh, but you know we are here at TATN.
But you know everything has a bet attached to it now, so you got to be careful. Well, they got to be careful about what they say that might be fixed.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
bro, you ain't retired. Like you in the league. It's like me working for a company and suggesting that they're breaking the law.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm still working for the company.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we know that. We know it's all a sham. It's all fixed. I mean, you know, come on, coin flip that sent Magic Johnson to the Lakers instead of him coming to the Bulls.
So you think the league gave an F about him being from Akron and playing for shithole Cleveland? Big up to Cleveland, Ohio, great city, state. But I'm saying, bro, whereas, yeah, if they was gonna fix it, he'd have got drafted by Boston, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe it might have been a check involved, because you gotta, even though you consider that you want to send everybody to make sure the big markets are staying big. This is a good story for Cleveland. That franchise, the Midwest, the Eastern Conference, that, you know, this young budding superstar was heading back to his hometown team, just like with Derrick Rose. So yeah, you don't want the Bulls to continually be under the auspices of a Jalen Rose and all of those bums they brought in after Michael Jordan. You know, bring in a bona fide star in the Derrick Rose, and, you know, let the Bulls be good. Sell some tickets, sell some merchandise. Yeah, it's all a sham. Allegedly. But I'm sure LeBron has more insight to what the hell's going on than I do. So, you know, if it came out of his mouth, there's got to be some kind of truth to the statement. There's got to be. There's no way he would have said it without being some sort of proof.
Well, that year they were 29-53, and our Bulls were 21-61.
Yeah.
I feel like if they wanted to cheat, they would have sent them to the house that Michael Jeffrey Jordan built.
No. Send them to the house that they wanted to build.
Oh, we didn't even have a draft. I think that was a year we had traded away our rights or something. I don't even think we were in that lottery, although we should be.
You know how the Bulls do.
Yeah. We didn't even. I don't remember having no chance at LeBron James, because you would remember that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The heartbreak.
Yeah, with 21 wins, yeah. Come on.
Yeah, exactly, bro. All right. We gotta wrap up. I know it's your mom's day, but I wanna get you just one more. We're gonna play a quick excerpt from Stephen Gay Smith.
$20 million.
He's at crypto.com arena. We ain't covering him in Brentwood. We covering him in downtown LA. Bond. We could have went to the back after the game, LeBron James could have came right over the press row and said, yo, don't leave. I want to see you after the game.
And I would have said, fuck you.
Right, I got shit to do.
Right.
We got to have a
fuck is wrong with me? Right.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
conversation.
That'll be next week or something.
And before any of these players or any professional athlete or anybody associated with them says another syllable, think about this. 99% of y'all would have done that. Y'all have said, Stephen A, don't leave. I ain't see you, bro. After the game, LeBron didn't want that. Because LeBron points, somebody has lifted up their offspring that he was willing to go someplace else practically for free. We did not have to know that it was not about the money. We did not have to hear him say, you want me, draft Bronny. We did not have to hear him say, my son is better than half the players or some of the players in the NBA right now before he ever played an NBA game. You did that. That was LeBron James who did that.
Yeah, we didn't believe
He wasn't asked that. He wasn't asked his level of culpability in all of this.
I bet if Kamala Harris was on Pat McAfee's show, he would have had some better questions.
Oh, yeah. He'd have some
He goes
Mm-hmm.
on there and he talks smack. Cool, I got it. I got it.
And he ain't mad at McAfee. I didn't get into this. But McAfee was being disrespectful towards Stephen A. Oh, it's okay. I done done this for the ratings, and he got no, right.
But that's what he was on there for. That's to give McAfee the ratings, to diss Stephen A, to spew his own narrative. That's what he was there for, and he did all of those things.
I get it, but say LeBron wants to come on this show and poop on you or Brother Wordsmith,
and
it's like, all right, y'all do it. It's good for the pod. It's gonna be a lot of views. That don't mean I gotta be like taking shots at y'all during the that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it's disrespectful. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So it is what it is.
I don't think he's an
There's
alpha
really not
male,
much else to say other than
Stephen
this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very important that you understand what I'm about.
Let's see what he's gonna say.
So he might think I'm salivating and I was happy to discuss it. I'm not happy to discuss a dude getting in my face, telling me stop shitting on his son. I'm not happy about that. I think Savannah is the first lady of the
LeBron made it news by doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, to Stephen A's point, he could have caught me off camera.
Yeah, because I'm sure he walked through the, underneath the stadium to get to his car or whatever, and they could have hashed it out then if that's what he was truly his goal was, to get him to stop talking about his son.
Correct. He could have had Rich Paul call him on a three-way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. I met him at Diddy's party, and they could have talked about it then. Diddy's not having parties now.
Maybe it was something that was stewing in him, and then when he saw him over there, he's like, I'm gonna go stand over this little punk,
Yeah.
The NBA. I think she's an absolutely whatsoever what he did with this interview. I'm not insulted or offended or betrayed by a teammate or anything like that. That's nonsense.
They like wearing horse.
He did the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron is the culprit here. But far be it for me to say that about King James. Sit back and watch the list. Isn't that LeBron?
This is what I wanted you to hear.
Reportedly sitting in the locker room with players, and Dr. J and Larry Bird talked to the players about playing hard and giving the fans what they want to see and how important All-Star Weekend was. And the NBA thought that the players really, really had bought in until LeBron James gave the players a side eye, and then all of a sudden they went out and allowed almost 400 points to be scored in the last All-Star game before this one just passed in 2025. Wasn't that LeBron?
So Stephen A's got to be mad to report on LeBron James like this?
No.
That would be my question for Stephen A.
Yeah, because if you hadn't had the altercation, would any of this rhetoric be out at this time? If he hadn't came on Pat McAfee, would any of this come out at this time? And I believe the answer is no.
Because Stephen A was glazing and trying to glaze as much as he could to get LeBron on his show or on First Take on. He was glazing. Now he realizes,
he's never coming on my show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All guns blazing.
Uh-huh.
Shots fired. Absolutely.
Correct.
I told y'all when he took his talents to South Beach, ain't nobody gonna say I had a complaint about that. My complaint was about Kevin Durant going to Golden State after being up 3-1, losing the series to them, and then joining them a month later.
Okay, so it's going to be a problem now?
But we've been past that. We've been over that. And I wish Kevin Durant nothing but the best. Clownish comments about me and all. But LeBron James, I certainly never had a problem with LeBron James going to Miami. Nothing's more special than South Beach. And that brother had me at South Beach 4 consecutive Junes. I was grateful to LeBron James. I wasn't mad. But when he decided to take his talents to South Beach and did so without showing the decorum and respect of at least giving Dan Gilbert a heads up that was what he was going to do, because he decided to, run an event essentially with Jim Gray sitting down. And he talked about generating over $2.5 million for a worthy cause, fair enough. But it being televised on ESPN and ultimately making his announcement that he was taking his talents to South Beach. Did y'all remember what happened in the aftermath of that? Remember a collective bargaining negotiation that followed where players were stripped to 7% of basketball-related income? I mean, Commissioner Stern and those guys were coming forward anyway, but nevertheless, their angst to do so definitely was heightened after that. But there's collateral damage that he leaves in his wake all over the place. And other players don't usually see that until it's too late. But we don't talk about that because he's box office and he's phenomenal.
So y'all don't talk about it, but you're talking about it now.
Yeah, when you're mad at him.
Right.
He stood over you like a little bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's still box office.
Yeah. That's not going to change.
He's on the Mount Rushmore of basketball, and where he goes, ratings follow. And because of that,
I've been trying to kiss your ass as much as possible.
Right.
But now that I see it's over.
You say what, X?
Now he sees it's over.
Yeah.
He's never coming on my show.
Yeah.
He's never coming on
Mount Rushmore of basketball, and where he goes, ratings follow. And because of that, we gloss over those facts.
See? Glaze over it.
But those ain't the only facts we gloss over.
Glazing.
When LeBron talked about the media weeks ago, what does he do now? He comes on Pat McAfee's show again today and listen to what he had to say. Listen closely. Check it out.
I see a lot of shit too. Like I seen Brian Windhurst on one of
Sports Center at the platform event. And look at what he said.
Every single day that he's better, he's not better. He wouldn't. You trying to tell me Giannis wouldn't be able to play an NBA game in the 70s?
Handshake. He wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, neither would you. Neither would you.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So they cut dude off. Dude said, but the handshake, he wouldn't be. Dude know the game.
Yeah, trying to tell the truth.
Before he put his foot in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Would have 250 points in a game in the 70s. 250.
Perhaps. The Kobe's of the world, the MJ's of the world. There was no Elgin Baylor or Oscar Robertson before them?
Perhaps. Why would you even give credence to some bullshit like
that?
You see, the point is, you use previous greatness. We're able to look and we're able to say, as we look at the great Allen, I'm not a part of that conversation. He started winning. My God, it is what it is. Nothing to do with your skill. Had nothing to do with their zone defense. Had nothing to do with your capabilities. Had everything to do with your heart. The rest of us didn't have the skill. You had everything. But also a 10-man syndrome at that time. Once you learn to win, nothing could stop you. If we only went about LeBron, if we only looked at LeBron James' career since he won his first championship, ladies and gentlemen, we could have the GOAT conversation. Because since he started winning, my God, it is what it is. But before that heart transplant that he needed, it is my belief Michael Jordan would have been in the hospital blocking the door every single time, figuratively speaking, to prevent him from having that heart transplant.
Oh, yeah, Mike was taking your heart. Kobe would have cut his heart out, too.
He'd have shut him down, took his heart.
He wasn't getting no chips and beans was running around.
Yeah,
right out of his...
over the championship.
Uh-huh.
Chest. And when they allowed him to have another heart, that's the difference. That's how I feel.
And if you had to go to the Eastern Conference, you definitely wouldn't have got to no damn championship game.
Hell no.
Others may think differently.
Trying to tell me this dude would have put up 250. Never mind. Keep going.
He'll never win another chip. But you're riding his coattails.
And y'all gonna just sit here and act like that had nothing to do with him getting in my face. No. Remember how I told y'all a story about I'd look at Rich Paul and them and I say, and y'all gonna let him get away. I get paid to talk about him. I would tell him he's welcome to talk to me anytime. But we all know that ain't gonna happen.
See, you called it, Ace.
Nobody knows me better than Brian Windhorst.
I'm just trying to get to what he was.
Tell me one time.
Talking about his game.
Tell me one thing that Brian went to find the positive about LeBron James, no matter what the story is.
Yeah, but why? Why is y'all always doing it?
Today's players compared to yesteryear. I thought that was a subject he didn't want to touch. I thought that we should just have an appreciation for the game and not really compare.
Every single day.
That disrespectful to the pioneers who paved the way.
Yeah, it's disrespectful. I'm gonna stop it there. We've been talking about it kind of tongue in cheek, but bro, one thing I noticed about a lot of generation after the millennials, even some of them, they're really sensitive when it comes to any critique or any criticism. Anyone tells them, you know what I mean? Call them out on something.
Yeah.
And LeBron is on the front end of that. And that's why all of them sit there and talking about my game and then tell me about, you know, so what, man? Like, you rich.
Yeah. Yeah. You're at the top of the pole and you got, well, we call for umpires when we're parents in the stand having beers and talking crap and, shout for our kids. The umpires like, oh, well, this, that, and the other. It's like, hey, we're not talking to you.
Right.
You got rabbit ears. Why are you listening to what's going on out here?
You should be paying attention to the game. Yeah.
To the game. Yeah. Yeah. Why are you worried about what's going on the sideline? I'm not talking about you or your mama or your family.
It's funny you mention that because even on the high school varsity level at the hallowed grounds of Cardinal Country out there in Blue Island, for age. Yeah, we couldn't be caught up. Even the 12th guy on the bench couldn't say nothing about what was going on behind us or in the crowd or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. We on this field. We on the field. Game started.
I couldn't come to practice. Oh, the students are saying this and this and this about such and such, and it's affecting my game, and I don't want to play no more, coach. The fingernail polishes and out back.
Yeah, it's amazing, especially with all the money and the power that you had to block all this out and just because they didn't have that in the 70s and the 80s that that they had enough money that they didn't have to worry about any outside influence, worry about mom having a crib or the kids being taken care of or not, or in the 80s they have to worry about going to work another damn job after the season. Now you guys are sitting up here with y'all gaining generational wealth with every contract, and you're worried about a reporter saying this, that, and the other about your game or your contract's guaranteed. Why would you care about what this guy is saying? Go out there and show what you do on the court, on the field. But this, like you said, this is a new era, new generation, the participation,
And LeBron, personally, we're tired of hearing about you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time for you to go away.
They're still talking about. You're still balling. I'm just saying they talk about you so much. Like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You box office, they're gonna talk about you, and you should have
marketing
your child like that. Your child should have been all the stuff you're saying. You're telling Bronny, who's a grown man now, should have been ingrained in him when he was still in theta, 7 years old. Yeah. Look, son, this is what I'm going through, and I could have handled. You know what I'm saying?
This is what I had to go through in high school, and when I went into the league at 18 years old, they don't love you. You got to love yourself. You got to love the game, and you got to make your game happen on the court. This is what I went through coming out of high school, going into the NBA, and it's essentially what Bronny has done. He didn't. How many games he played at USC before? He had
I don't know.
The heart condition, and he left school, and we know he wasn't at school, so he was still at probably LeBron's house then when he was going to USC. And the meth man doing his classes online or whatever the hell they had going on. But this is what I'm grooming you for. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. And now, man, even with this condition, you're not playing a lot in college. It's going to be really rough. So when I get you into the NBA,
this is what you're going to expect. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly, bro. That's why second generation college children usually do better than first generation and so forth, because they know exactly the things they're going to be up against, and they're able to have the student prepared for. There's less I didn't know what I didn't know.
Thanks, nonsense. I told you what was coming.
Yeah.
I gave you a blueprint on how to handle it. Now
I'm gonna go sign up for calculus and all the biochem classes freshman year all at once.
Yeah. We're not sending you there to be no damn chemical engineer in your first semester.
And we're not sending you there to flunk out taking all of those weed out courses in the same semester, your first semester down there.
No.
Yeah.
Just get there and get acclimated to what you're doing. And
take some easy classes, get yourself warmed up, take one tough one. You know what I mean? Yeah. Get some confidence. And
then when you're ready to sprout on and get into your curriculum of a major, when you figure something out, because you really don't know what the hell you're coming from a damn high school playing field or party or house party, and now they want you to go into a university and figure out your entire life within 2 months of leaving Dembo's on 79th Street. Come on,
Dembo's. Nah, big ups Dembo. I was talking to some non-copper coloreds, and they were big hockey fans, LA King fans, right? Probably Trump supporters from what I gather, but big ups. And they were talking about hockey, bro. We were talking about the NBA. They were like, "Yeah, did you see the hockey All-Star game?" I'm like, "No." they're like, "What they doing? I think it's Canada versus the world or something like that. They doing what we said the NBA should do."
Yeah.
They said as soon as they drop the puck, fights. Drop the puck again, fights. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They was competing.
Yes. You know, you can talk that Rich Paul Worldwide West stuff all you want. Hey, look, man, y'all lost to Lithuania out there.
For sure. Got your ass kicked.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean, it was a great idea at the time. You brought it up that it should be a round robin tournament, different whether it's in the U.S. or overseas, year after year. That we're playing the All-Star game versus the world's best versus the NBA's best, since the world's best is supposedly getting better every year, and their
Allegedly.
game is competing with the American
Allegedly.
game. Yeah, we're gonna show
And
how they're competing with the American game.
this will help the American Olympic team too, because basically all the players would probably play for the Olympics except for certain players because they don't do it no more. But yeah, it'll be bonding that squad together, saying, "Look, we played against all of them combined and beat the brakes off of them. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to beat these teams individually.
Absolutely,
when we play them in the Olympics."
Absolutely. But, even if you're just using NBA world stars versus American world stars.
Yeah.
But then you got the problem. Somebody feeling slighted because I wasn't on the team because y'all had this world team versus the American team, and I should have been on the American team. Yeah.
What do you mean you should have been on the American team?
You didn't make it, you son of a bitch.
Right, so you should have made if you would have you didn't good enough to make either team. What are you talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
you're not good enough to make either roster, so you shouldn't have been on the All-Star team.
and I believe there's enough world players on the All-Star team that it's okay for you to make these two teams instead of having two rosters of NBA All-Stars.
No, you get one roster NBA All-Stars, right?
Yeah.
And you get one roster all the way us against the world there, fellas.
Yeah.
And this actually helps U.S. players who probably wouldn't have made the All-Star team.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Because now we need more players. We have to replace those Euro players, those Canadian players with American players who can have some comeuppance.
Yeah. You can't bed rest the night before the All-Star game. We need to know, hey, you ain't feeling well. You got a nagging injury. We need to know this on Monday before the All-Star game. Yeah, we got to get another player there.
Can you imagine a sports betting line on that, bro?
Oh, yeah.
It'd be crazy, boy. Everybody wants some action. It'd be a lot of talk. Stephen A. and everybody can talk about it. But, bro, go into your final words, man. Let's close this out. And, again, happy birthday.
Appreciate it.
Mama Dub.
Yeah. My final word is it's just the narcissism that we've grown to face with LeBron, and everybody talks about how great of an athlete he is off the court and what he does for the community and blah 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 and blah blah blah. Some of it's financial based. When you get to a billionaire, you got to drop some money somewhere. You're going to get taxed on all of it. But I appreciate what he's done for the kids, the schools he's opened, whatever charities he's donated to. But when it comes to him and the message that he puts out normally through his own mouth, it's amazing the crap that he comes up with. You stand over Stephen A. Smith at a basketball game that you're supposed to be concentrating on playing and winning. You're standing over a reporter talking about, what he says about your son. You can call him anytime. You can email and text him. You could have saw him after the game. You could have saw him before the game. Because I'm sure he gets there early, and you could have came out there in warm-ups and did all that, but the cameras wasn't rolling in. And
why would he single out Stephen A? I think that's what Stephen A is getting at for going in on his son. And he's sitting there with McAfee, who was going in on his son and talking about the nepotism. And Stephen A honestly never did none of that, bro. He was saying nepotism has always happened. Sometimes Stephen A will try to be pro-black. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Occasionally. But because he was the lowest hanging fruit. He was at the game. He's the lowest hanging fruit. You can go after Stephen A.
It'd look different if he'd have stood over Windhorse like that, huh?
Yeah, because what's going to happen? Security's going to come out. The league's going to investigate it.
The cops are going to investigate it.
Yeah, you're going to get suspended for a game or two. But you go colored against colored? Nah, come on. Who cares? It's just a marketing ploy. And that's probably what he told, the NBA. Like, yeah, it's something I just want to get off my chest. And me and Stephen A. We'll hash it out in the end. But, you didn't. You went on Pat McAfee's show. You could have went on Stephen A.'s show. And like you said, you could have came on your show. You could have went on All the Smoke. You could have went on The Pivot. You could have went on Mouthpiece Included.
You could have apologized to that man and talking
will.
about you're a mentor and young kids are watching you for saying I could have handled that differently and I didn't have no business standing over that man like that in public in front of people's families at their age.
Yeah, but he never will. He went on the Colonizer show and started talking about him sitting there with some ice cream and tighty whities and shit. I'm surprised he didn't start talking about his family or whatever, like they're on Pat McAfee's show. So this is it's not a good look, I would say, for your most overrated of all time, or some LeBron fans called him the greatest of all time. But I think the moat reference comes into play when you put yourself in a position to antagonize someone that reports on your game, that has given you nothing but accolades for the most part during your entire career. He talks about the game of basketball to the point of, marketing, just like you want to market your game. You want to sell shoes. You want people to come to the stands. That's his job, too, to talk about the game of basketball. And for him to have a situation where you intimidated him in front of whoever was watching the game, and then you go on another person's show and make light of it, while exalting yourself as a great dad or a super dad and taking care of your household or super family man.
Like he don't have a nanny, and man, Bronny had security all around him when he was at the high school game.
Right. So
LeBron wasn't there.
I mean, yeah, you can't be all things at all times. You got multiple children. You got a playing career. Come on, man. So cut it out. We all got stuff to do. As a regular dad that goes to work and was coaching a team. And
how about this? Most players would have retired even if they was healthy at this point after all the rings and all the money. The reason they usually give is because I'm tired of missing out on all the family events. My kids are graduating high school. Yeah. My son needs me, but but you want to have that cake and eat it too.
Yeah. Because it's about him. It was about him. It's about him when he put the ultimatum on the league, like draft my son and I'm coming there. It was all about him, and it's still about him. Hopefully, my last final words is that Bryce doesn't have to go through this. Bryce has the opportunity to go into a university setting, live his life, have some time as a college player, develop his skills, and then come out and decide what league he wants to go into, and hopefully get drafted in the NBA and do his own thing. But his dad will be retired by then, hopefully, and he'll be following it. He'll be Hollywood at his games and speaking out to everyone when it's Bryce's time to come. So my thing is, LeBron, you had your time for 20 plus years. Sit back, let your kids be kids, let them grow, give them all the sage advice that you've learned as a all-pro player for the last 20 years. Give them all the sage advice you want to as a quote-unquote mentor, and lay back, man. You maybe got 1, maybe 2 more years in the league. I will retire after this year. You got done what you wanted done. You got Bronny into the league. You got him a 3-year contract. If he develops, he develops. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It is what it is. But, sail off into the sunset. You have a chance. You got Luka now, so I'm pretty sure that's going to make you play another year. But, go out when you can. Go out when you can walk. Go out while the deer antler spray is allegedly working. And just be the most overrated of all time. Enjoy your time wearing number 23 and number 6. And that's all I can say about LeBron James and his legacy and what he's got going on. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your time being a billionaire. Enjoy your time being Hollywood. Enjoy your son playing for the Lakers. And ride off into the sunset like Shane and one of those old westerns. And that's my final word. Give it up, LeBron. Stop fighting with reporters. Definitely stop fighting with Stephen A. Smith, and give the time to the people that brought you up, that put you on your shoulders for your entire career. Give your time to your Up and Smoke podcast. Go on Stephen A. Smith podcast and y'all hash it out for real. Go on the Pivot and talk to those brothers. Talk to the people that exalted you and made you who you are as an NBA player. And that's my final word. Leave it alone. Leave Stephen A. Smith alone. And when it's time to go off into the sunset, which is pretty close to happening, go off and do it and take a big cut of STFU. My final word.
Yeah, and I'll just add real quick, bro, that he doesn't, many of us didn't have fathers as our role models. So something you may want to consider, LeBron, is put yourself in Bronny's shoes. It may be a bit embarrassing, like the way Juju was looking. Well, that wasn't her mom, probably her aunt, third cousin. But my point is, it could be an embarrassment to your son who's now a man. He's a male. And, maybe start encouraging, your son how to be a male. And then talk to your son about it. If your son doesn't want to stand over Stephen A., then you probably shouldn't want to stand over Stephen A. on his behalf. If he's trashing your son and your son is a mem, right? He's not 13, he's not 12, he's a mem. Then maybe you would, just, hey, son, why don't you go stand over his punk ass? You know what I mean? Other than that, it might be kind of embarrassing to him to have his dad, still stepping in and out there like that. Just like you were able to go through all of that on your own without your dad or your mom or someone stepping in there. It's that song, your mom is in my business. Go tell your dad to mind his business before I let go. You understand? So that's what I had. Now, we're going to get to this poll question real quick there, fella. We're going to get to the poll question here. All right. Who's winning the petty feud? So 0% said the most overrated of all times, LeBron, is winning this feud between he and Stephen A. Smith. 25% say LeBronny is winning this. And I don't know why, but I have to imagine it's because, I don't know, maybe his dad is taking some of the smoke, some of the attention off of him. And then now all of a sudden his game is flourishing. So it could be something to that. 25% say Stephen A. ethered him. He came out there and called LeBron a liar, And then 50% said they, them. Now, we're not talking about any misgendering here.
No.
We're talking about they, man. We're talking about the big media, ESPN, podcasts like ours, NWS, white supremacy, pink supremacy, right? Mm-hmm. Half of the respondents went for pink supremacy. Which one did you go with there, fella?
They not like us. They not like us. I said us. I went with the majority.
Same, bro.
50%.
Same, bro. Same. Yeah, I'd like to see a scenario where there's a son of a non-copper colored and then a non-copper colored in the league. And then they start having this back and forth about each other, about the media's portrayal of them. And then the non-copper color goes on a copper colored's podcast and talks about it.
Not gonna happen.
I mean, these are the thought experiments I go through, but nobody knows what's in my heart. So as we wrap up today's episode of Mouthpiece Included, it's clear that the dynamic energy of the NBA continues to push boundaries and ignite debate. The resurgence of our Bulls underscores that innovation and teamwork and it can maybe revitalize our storied franchise, reminding us that tradition and transformation often go hand in hand on the court. The narratives of basketball, but the Bulls are going to move off of everybody that's trending. That's just, you'll see. The narratives of basketball's next generation is equally compelling. Bronny James' steady improvement hints at a future where legacy meets potential, while LeBron's outgoing clash with Stephen A. Smith fuels conversations that extend beyond the hardwood. These discussions remind us that the game isn't solely about the plays. It's also about the personalities and philosophies that shape basketball culture. Finally, the looming concerns surrounding Juju Watkins. Turns out it's an ACL. She's young. Adds another layer of intrigue and caution, drawing parallels that I draw with paths once tread by legends like Michael Jeffrey Jordan. He had the foot. So as we continue to dissect these stories, we're left with a rich tapestry of athletic brilliance, intense rivalries, and the ever-present threat of sports setbacks out there. So Juju, make lemonades out of that lemon, as I know you will, because you're on a super journey here. So thank you so much for joining us on this journey through basketball's multifaceted narrative. Until next week, keep questioning, keep exploring, keep exposing, stay passionate about the stories that shape our culture and our world. We appreciate all the support and enthusiasm for this pod. If you have any more questions or need further information or want to pop up, feel free to reach out to us. Stay tuned, stay passionate, bear down, and as always, Ace,
FGB to the highest level of effivity.
And anybody who disagrees with that statement, F you too. Yeah. Karen? Okay, yeah. All right, John, let's see here. We gotta get Karen involved. She's on the phone with the cops.
TATN. Better guard your grill. TATN.
What? Oh, the song's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
be.
This ain't that. Mouthpiece included.
So you find yourself sliding through the rack. Might be headed down Vincent. Yeah. Restaurant went out of business. Boarded up. You might be out west on Laramie. On Laramie Street.
Yeah, BJ, get on these streets, fix them up.
Yeah. Laramie Street. You might be on Washington.
Not yet.
Working? You might even be in South Central LA on Florence and Namen. Big ups Reggie Denny. You better be watching your back.
Sure.
Better check your six. Better check your blind spot.
Yeah.
Better use blind spot assist. Better guard your grill. Knuckle up. And don't forget to.
Don't forget it, baby.
And don't forget to.
Don't forget it. Like, share, subscribe.
And don't forget to bring your mouthpiece.
So,
free Big U.
Details.
TATN.
Free Jeff Fort.